Mic test 1 million, 2 million, 1 billion. Mic test 1 million, 2 million, 1 billion. A billion. Okay, I think we're good. All right, guys. So let's do a market review. I was actually live with the bootcamp just now, and I did a paper trade. Okay, I was trading my $1 million model. The structure was, you know, permitting. It was actually. Just give me 1 second, guys. The $1 million model checklist was there, and it actually we ticked all boxes. It's just that the structure was not too convincing for me. Maybe I was extra cautious because we're having NFP on Friday. That's one of the things, but looking back to it now, that trade was a bang. I should have executed on a live account, but instead I told the guys that I'm gonna paper trade it because it's like, yes, everything ticks, but it wasn't the way that I you know want it to be. I would prefer it to be. Okay. And okay, so we had news at 10 o'clock. We just had news. So another thing was that I was comfortable waiting for the news and trade after 10 p.m. So I wanted to see how the price will be after 10 p.m. So I wanted to see my draws on a daily remain intact, and until just after 10 o'clock. Okay. And obviously, if the calendar is like this, we do trade the pre-market, so from 7 o'clock to 9:30, and we also study the macros, and then we can also alternatively wait for 10 o'clock news and then trade the silver bullet. So this is what we had on 1 hour. So price was trading somewhere around these areas. I was looking at these three candles, 1, 2, 3, creating that imbalance, that weak CE there. And I looked at how this candle here rejected to actually close up above this candles high inside that imbalance, and then once we did this, I was watching this candle and it was also showing weakness, failing to reach and go above that high. So now that means we have we have put in a swing high on the 1 hour time frame, and we are putting a swing high inside an imbalance right there, failing to close above that. That was weakness to me. So pre-market, you know what we wait for. We studied the opening at 7 o'clock. So look down here, the opening at 7 o'clock. So when we did that high here, this high, when this high was being printed, it was after 7 o'clock. Okay, on this 1 hour time frame, it says 8 o'clock. So it was somewhere, it's this price action from, so let's just take the 8 o'clock. From 8 o'clock, we retested the low of that imbalance right there, and you'll see everything here. And then 7 o'clock opened, we put in a high, we also put in that high relatively equal to that, swept it before 7:30. That's a very key indicator. And then price started running all the way down, closing below those lows there, creating a change in state of delivery, leaving smooth edges at premium. 8 o'clock opens, it does this priming here, creating relatively equal lows. And then I didn't take this fair value gap obviously to go short, but I was waiting. I wanted to see price go above this high one more time, but it failed here. But it took out these, it swapped these relatively equal highs after 8:30. So that was 8:30 pricing in some form of premium and clearing some liquidity there. And then it dropped all the way, inverted this inversion here, left three fair value gaps inside that inversion. So when we closed bearish below that inversion, I told the guys, now I think we are coming for these lows, and I had these daily lows here, these relatively equal lows on the daily. This is Friday's low, Thursday's low rather. Look down here, making relatively equal lows with the pre-market range low, or just London lunch lows here after 5 o'clock. It was making relatively equal lows with that low right there. So I wanted to see that. That was my draw below the pre-market range lows here, and then you saw it, and I wanted to use that fair value gap as my entry. Actually, I did use it. Institutional order flow inside that upper fair value gap, boom, inside the macro. Look at the time here, 8:50 to 9:10, and then reclaim that bearish order block right there. Boom, took out those lows and then continued all the way down. And another thing I was focusing on or looking at was, ever since price pushed all the way up, we've never really took out those highs right there on 1 hour, and we've never really priced in any form of discount. So we've taken out external range liquidity right there. Now I was looking for internal range and discounted prices on the hourly chart, and that's exactly why those relatively equal lows were in my draw first thing, and then equilibrium of this whole entire range was the next draw, my best case terminus for the session. So I'm now going to show you my annotations and my executions on the chart, exactly how I so this is the range. Took out those relatively equal highs right there, and then we dropped. So I was looking at this range and I wanted equilibrium, which is this green line here, below those relatively equal highs until there was my draw when price was inside this 1 hour CB. So now we are going to study this 1 hour CB, which is the same thing here, and show you my executions. And I did this live, guys. We also had the midnight opening price right there. I said if price is gonna punch above this high, I want to see it make a high of the day there. But it didn't, it failed, and then I saw the macro delivering that, a change in the state of this inversion after taking out the premium buy side liquidity, minor buy side liquidity in the form of relatively equal highs right there, reclaiming that 60-minute CB. And then when it went up again, I went short inside that the first upper CB right there. And look at the candles failing to make it to that premium or just upper quadrant of this inversion here. That was weakness. I actually liked seeing that, and then eventually we closed below the opening price here, making this bearish order block. But just to refine it, you can take that last up close candle right there. It was also reclaimed here and here. It was reclaimed, and then I eventually saw that sell off towards my daily sell side liquidity, and eventually we made it to the equilibrium of that range. So obviously you can target any discount below that to be specific, but I just wanted to see it drop all the way down to these lows. Okay, so just to zoom in here on 1 minute, so when I wasn't really interested in shorting until price closed bearish here, and I said, okay, now these lows are next, because the priming had already taken place here. I don't know if I'm going too fast for you guys, but it was just that, and I didn't like how the setup was valid, but I'm like, I didn't really like it. I wanted to see it go above this high, because even though we took out these relatively good highs here, I was like, okay, I still want to see maybe a sweep above these highs here, and then as I get that sweep, maybe reject the midnight opening price and then take it off. I thought maybe after 10 o'clock we'll have that sell off towards the daily lows, but it was just a quick one. And yeah, so I just took it on paper. I didn't take it on a live account. So no trades for me today, guys. The bootcamp is still running. The 2026 bootcamp is still running. You're about to see some crazy numbers in this bootcamp. And this was the $1 million model continuation, bearish continuation setup. And this is where I executed, guys. This is where I executed my trades and took that thingy. So I was actually late because I was okay. I said I want to sell this, but I was filled somewhere here. Where is this thing? And the second entry was somewhere here. And then on this one, I was actually going short here using the immediate rebalance, but it went all the way up to reclaiming that fair value gap, and then from there it went all the way down. So that's it, guys. That's it, guys. Uh, that was it for me, and I didn't take Bitcoin. And yeah, this is just a gold trade review. If you find these insightful, if you want me to record more of these videos, do let me know. And now we are just inside that fair value gap here, so I'll see you guys on the next one tomorrow. We have NFP this week. Be careful, and use proper risk management, use proper stop losses as well. And yeah, see you guys on the next one. Saikido signing out. Ciao, ciao.